And a question about embedding links from the Manitoba curriculum into your concept map. I think that's what was being asked. So remember that the Manitoba curriculum is linked here on my webpage on the side here, and goes into the Manitoba curriculum. Learning resources, I'll use, for example, I'll go into grade 3 mathematics and go down and look at some of the curriculum tasks that are involved in grade 3 mathematics. Let's look at patterns and relations. So when you're planning a lesson for patterns and relations, again, you're trying to, for this course, you're trying to specify a very specific learning objective. So in this case, the main general learning objective is patterns and relations, and they've called it here PR1 and PR2. So you could cite that in your MindMeister as one of the general learning objective. Then when we get down to the specific learning objective, first one was to demonstrate an understanding of increasing patterns by describing, extending, comparing, creating all these different things using manipulatives, diagrams, and numbers to 1,000. So you can say that that's your specific learning objective. You're going to plan a lesson based on that, depending on which ICT tool you tend to use. So you can just grab that specific learning objective. All this information will be useful to you as you go along, though. So if you go back to your map now, find your lesson planning map and open the specific or where you're going to put it. So I'm going to put this as a something for maps, if I'm going to use this for teaching grade 3 maps. So this will be the Manitoba curriculum. And I could have put the general learning objective first, GLO, and then talk about the SLO. And now how I record this, there's a few different ways of doing this. I can position this out of the way a little bit. And probably what I would do with this is I'd identify these things by the numbers and then also add a note to each one of these nodes. So I'm going to add a note to this node, and the note is going to be what I just copied from the Manitoba curriculum. So that's one place to do it. I could also then at this point, probably what I would do is take that URL from that curriculum webpage and where it talks about the general learning objectives, copy that, take it back to my concept map, and now include that under the general learning objective, except now not a note, but a URL. So I'll click the link to that, and oops, I gotta go Control V. And now that shows up as a link to the general learning objective in the Manitoba curriculum there. This then shows up to the specific learning objective, and that I can use to start designing my lesson around. So I've got a good starting point for developing this lesson. So I think that's what was being asked, how to link those and how to find those. First of all, you should look through these. Every one of these curriculum documents, they have various things. So for example, when you're planning this lesson, here's what they call the achievement indicators. So this would be your sort of formative assessment. How do you know this is being developed? Same for this learning outcome. This one was demonstrating an understanding of decreasing patterns. Background information, mathematical language being used in this particular lesson, how to assess prior knowledge, so how to do the diagnostic assessment. So right in here is as I said, the elements of the diagnostic assessment to know where your students are coming from, where they're starting at. Suggestions for instruction, what instructional method do you want to use, including some actual resources that you could either download, or you could certainly find very similar diagrams to these things on the internet, just about anywhere. So, and then performance tasks. So again, paper and pencil task maybe, but of course, if we're talking about ICT, you're going to figure out some way to use ICT for that. Again, more suggestions for instruction, assessing understanding, missing numbers. Just about everything you need to do the complete lesson is incorporated into this Manitoba curriculum document. So I suspect that some of these will remain the same as we go along as they do this curriculum update, but Yeah, you just have to keep coming back again. So now then, this is on to the next general learning outcome of grade 3, patterns and relations. So anyway, so that's the idea of that.